Hi guys, it's Kelly and you're watching That Smells Divine. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, y'all, I know I was gone for a long time. We're gonna talk about it. If you're not interested in hearing about my absence and all the reasons that factored into that, if you're just here just to get straight into the perfume, go ahead down into the description. You'll find the timestamps. You can just click over to the first perfume. Okay guys, so it's been about 6 months, I believe, since I filmed my last video. I was not planning on taking a break. It was not something that I communicated. There was a couple of factors that went into just putting a halt on all of my content, and I just wanted to talk about those real quick. I feel like, not that I owe you an explanation, but I always feel like it's nice to kind of hear, you know, when a content creator takes a break and they come back, just to hear a little bit about like why and what's been going on and just kind of fill you in on all the things. So I was filming like very consistently all the way through doing 75 hard, which I did last fall, all the way up until the holidays, went to Panama for Christmas, got engaged on the beach in Panama, which I don't think I did a video after that, so I don't even know if I've like told you all about that, but yeah, super exciting. I've been with my fiance now for 10 years, so it's been a long time coming, but it was like super romantic. He proposed on the beach in the middle of all these like rocks and little, like just in the jungle. It was just beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. So yeah, super excited about that. What happened was I ended up taking a bigger role within the platform that I work for. So some of you guys know my main business, what I do for my meat and potatoes. I have a high ticket affiliate marketing business. So basically the business that I work has an automated platform attached to it, which is great for all of the people that work the business because you don't have to spend like hours per day working on your business. You can spend like an hour max or more if you want to, but because like part of how that's built the way it is that we have a sales team. And so basically starting at the end of October, I stepped in and started working with the sales team, and I did that until about 2 weeks ago. And so yeah, I got really busy. Like, to be honest, that was the initial reason why I stopped filming, was I just got really busy. But actually prior to the holidays leading up to Panama, I started to feel a little bit like I was just getting kind of bored. I'll never get bored of fragrances. I'll never get bored of like doing this, but I just was starting to feel like a little bit like I was kind of just going through the motions, and I had sort of lost my passion. And so a couple of weeks into working for the sales team and being like in a job again, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take a step back from filming. I'm gonna take a step back from even watching reviews, reading Fragrantica every day. Like, I just basically stepped back from everything and really just wanted to like preserve my passion for fragrance, right? Because I feel like, I don't know, sometimes we have to take a step back from the things that we truly enjoy so that we can like appreciate them and miss them and remember how much we love them in the first place. So there was that. And then yeah, come like March, I turned 41, which is not old, but had its like unique set of thoughts and reflections and challenges that came up with that. And I actually ended up having some like pretty severe mental health issues in March, April, and half of May. My entire life I've struggled with ADHD and depression. My depression comes and goes. I'll go like sometimes a couple of years without having an episode, and then I'll be like really, really bad depressed for like sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes 3 months. Like it's very up and down. And I also feel like it's very tied to my ADHD. So when my ADHD gets really bad, which usually happens like with periods of stress or like emotional turmoil, anything like that, that can kind of trigger a depressive episode. Because if you have ADHD, you know that a lot of times like this inability to do anything because you're so like overstimulated and just like your mind's going in a million different directions, it causes you to kind of paralyze, and then you can't get basic shit done, you know? And so then you go into this like shame spiral because you haven't showered in 5 days and the dishes are piling up in your sink, never mind like getting responsibilities done for your work or your family or anything like that. And that feeling can kind of trigger a depressive episode. And so Yeah, I was just in a really bad space this spring, to be 100% transparent. And it was interesting because one of the things that got me out, like I obviously, I've been making a lot of lifestyle changes and like taking a lot of like natural approaches to healing my, managing my ADHD and healing it, which then in turn has kind of helped with the depression as well. But one of the things that I was like clinging to when it was like really bad is I started playing with my fragrances more, and I actually went back onto YouTube and I started watching content creators again, and it like re-sparked that feeling of joy and like timelessness that I feel when I'm in like just completely submerged in fragrance. And that was just like an avalanche. I kept watching, I kept playing, I kept just getting back into it. And the more and more I dipped my toes into that water, the more I was like, oh my God, I miss this so much. And then ultimately I ended up completing my role with the sales team for a couple of different reasons. My dog Shadow, who you guys all know if you've watched my channel, he got diagnosed with cancer in April or May, I think it was, and we actually managed to get it all out. We got him into a surgery right away with an amazing oncologist. Got him on a different diet. He's been taking Chinese herbs and doing all this supplementation, and he's good now. Like the cancer's gone, which is awesome. But it was around that time that he got diagnosed, and then I was having all these mental health challenges that I was like, I need to not do this sales role anymore. I've been able for the past 10 years of my life to basically work, like I've always had an online business, so I've worked for myself primarily for the past 10 years, besides like doing some bartending here and there and side gigs and whatnot. But I just decided, I'm like, I have the capability to earn an income and like be self-sustaining without having the sales role. So like, what am I doing? I need time and space for myself. So anyways, long story short, that is my story around why I've been gone. I'm so excited to jump back into this, you guys. Like I feel more passionate about it now than I did when I very first started my channel. I'm like totally rejuvenated. So for today's topic, it's probably gonna be a long one. So if you haven't yet, pause the video, go get a glass of wine, a cup of tea, a cup of cacao, whatever floats your boat, a soda, whatever, and nestle in, because it's gonna be a minute. What I have for you today are my 19 most favorite fragrance discoveries of 2023. So since I last talked to you guys, I don't believe I've done a video since 2022, and I've acquired, of course, a ton more samples and decants and perfumes because the collecting has never stopped. I actually have a full room now. My parents moved out and my dad was sleeping in our guest room, and I have literally turned the guest room into a fragrance storage area, and it's taking over the whole room. And I actually think I'm gonna like turn it into a fragrance studio, which is gonna be super cool. Anyways, so I've got 19 fragrances for you. I'm gonna try to like blow through them as fast as I can, but it's gonna be a long one. Okay, the first fragrance that I have for you guys is by my absolute hands down favorite house of all time. Some of you might know, some of you might not. ARQUISTE, literal favorite house of all time. I am obsessed with the creator, Carlos. He's an incredible human being. I'm obsessed with the brand, the vision, the creativity behind it, the story behind it, his approach. I'm obsessed with the perfumers that are involved in creating the fragrances. It's literally my favorite house. I have not smelled everything from the house, but I've got a couple of, like Floricanto and Architects Club are probably two of my like top 10 favorite fragrances of all time. So I was really excited to see that PEAU was available through Scentbird, which I have a subscription to Scentbird. So I got my hands on this decant of PEAU a couple months ago, and I absolutely love it. So I'm gonna give you the notes. Okay, so the top notes of PEAU, we've got some musk, some ambergris, and some clary sage. In the middle, we've got some white pepper and coriander. And then base notes of woody notes, amber, and labdanum. And this is really, really pretty. If you like Not a Perfume by Juliette Has a Gun, if you like Molecule 1, if you like Glossier You, this is gonna be right up your alley. I feel like it's slightly more elevated than Glossier's You and Not a Perfume. Very similar, very, very similar vibe, very similar scent, but just a little bit more elevated. And I don't know if it's the ambergris at the top, because it's not ambroxan, it's ambergris. That combined with the woody notes in the bottom just makes it smell a little bit, yeah, just more elevated. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a skin scent for sure. It definitely needs to be sprayed on skin in order to like fully feel it, you know, but this is just so, so, so good. I've been wearing this. I've been trying not to wear too much of it because I'm yeah, definitely trying to get the most wear out of this decant, but I most likely will be purchasing a full bottle of this. This is, out of all the fragrances I mentioned that it smells similar to, I definitely would pull for this one first before any of those others. Except for Molecule 1, because Molecule 1, it has its own thing going on. I feel like it's the OG of these kind of molecular type fragrances. I don't think anything can truly be compared to Molecule 1, so I would never replace Molecule 1 with this, but definitely wear it in addition. Okay, next we've got something that I received from Sephora with one of my orders. It's clean. It's their Radiant Nectar. It's actually a roll-on, which I hate roll-ons with a passion. Like, I absolutely hate roller balls. I need to be able to spray my perfume on myself, but I've been thoroughly enjoying this. I'm not gonna actually read notes for each of the individual fragrances, I don't think, because I feel like we just don't have time for that. But this is like a really juicy, it literally tastes, or it smells like a bowl of like summer punch, like tropical Caribbean sunset punch. It smells so, so, so good. I saw someone review this and say that they thought it smelled like honey. I'm not really getting a honey smell. It's very much like I'm getting like berries and like this sort of ambrosia smell, like fruits, tropical fruits. A little bit of strawberry maybe. It's just so, so pretty. This is really pretty. I'm definitely getting a full bottle when I'm done with this. I've been wearing this grocery shopping, gym, going to the vet, anywhere where I don't want to like offend people with a fragrance, like the gym and the vet. I go to a holistic vet and they're very into like essential oils and stuff, so I never want to wear like, you know, a bomber banger perfume. But this is really, really pretty. So that's Clean Radiant Nectar. Next up on the list, we have ZADIG and Voltaire's Just Rock for Her. So it's the flanker of This Is Her. It's called Just Rock for Her, and I believe the only changes to the notes here, I think they've just added some tuberose and some jasmine and patchouli. I don't think there's patchouli in the original, I can't remember. But if you guys have been watching my channel for a bit, you know that This Is Her is like one of my all-time favorite fragrances. I actually like 2 weeks ago just bought the Zara dupe called Fields of Nightfall, which I was shocked at how dead on, spot on it is, but also the longevity is like way better with the dupe, which I was also very surprised about. So yeah, super excited. I just love the scent profile. I love the like kind of milky, lactonic, sandalwoody, creamy vibe. Totally up my alley. I haven't sprayed this one in a bit, and just disclaimer, I actually have not worn this one on skin yet, so I can't speak to the performance on skin. But on paper, it smells very similar to the original This Is Us, but it's a little bit more, it's got a little bit more of a creamy floral vibe, less of like that sandalwood kind of incensey vibe that I kind of get with This Is Her. I keep wanting to say This Is Us. But yeah, this is really pretty. It's got definitely more of like a creamy white floral feel to it, but it's honestly not that far off from the original. I think that this would be a good option for people to test out if you weren't into the original This Is Us. This Is Her, because it maybe leaned a little bit too like sour or incensey for you. I know some people like just, it didn't 100% land with them. I think this might be kind of the like more subtle, subdued version that you might enjoy more. Now, again, I need to like wear this on skin. I just have been focused on my regular This Is Her. I've got 2 decants. No, I've got 3 decants of the regular This Is Her, and now I've got Fields of Nightfall, so it's just kind of like taken front and center. But I do need to wear test this, and I will report back after I do. Okay, next up is one that I had been wanting to get my hands on for the longest time. I heard so many reviewers talking about this. I heard a couple different people say that this reminded them of the smell of copal. If you've ever been to Tulum in Mexico, you know that they like burn copal along the pathways down to the beach. It's like a very specific smell. And I heard 2 different reviewers say that this fragrance reminded them of that smell. Tulum is literally my like favorite place on earth, and the smell of copal is probably like my favorite smell of all time. So of course I was like super excited to get my hands on this. This is Matiere Premier's Encens Suave, and I actually, before I got this sample, I actually ordered the Dua version, the Dua dupe of this, which I smelled that first. Did I smell that first? I can't remember actually which one I got first. It's not 100% the Dua version, but I also still need to let it macerate a little bit because I haven't had it for that long. But anyway, this is Encens Suave, and I'm just gonna give it a little spritz. And this is just so pretty. It does smell, oh, I just got a bunch all over my finger. It does smell like literally like you're walking through Tulum. It smells exactly like copal. This, when I word test it, the only problem that I had with this is it like very quickly disappeared off of my skin, which was a total bummer, especially given the price of these. Like, they're not cheap, right? I didn't overspray it because I don't have that much. So I think what I'm gonna do when I run out of this is get a bigger decant and just like overspray and see if that changes anything. But I do know the Dua version that I got is a little bit longer lasting. It smells less copal. It's got more of like a sweet, almost like a tobacco kind of vibe to it with the dupe. This one just smells straight like woodsy copal, a little bit of vanilla. So they're definitely different. I could end up layering them. I'm not sure. Jury's out on this just simply because of the longevity, but again, I do need to play with it. I also need to play with it in the colder weather as well. So that is Encens Suave. Okay, the next is actually a series of 3. This is a new launch in 2023, and obviously when I tell you what it is, you're gonna be like, oh, of course, you're obsessed with that, because I love Molecule 1. So this is, these are the 3 new flankers of Molecule 1 that were released this year. We've got black tea, we've got ginger, and GUAIAC wood. I'm obsessed with all 3. I literally can't pick a favorite. Like, it's really hard because these are like literally 3 of my favorite notes. Like, I love GUAIAC wood, the smokiness of it. Ginger, I love the note of ginger in perfume. And then also we've got the black tea, which is a new love for me as of last year. And so I literally I can't pick a favorite between these 3. I'm absolutely obsessed with all 3 of them. I would like full bottles of all 3. If you haven't yet smelled these and you love those individual notes, get your nose on those immediately. Okay, the next one is something that I actually smelled back in 2012, I believe. The very first time I went to the Diptyque boutique, the only time I went to the Diptyque boutique in Paris, 2012. I don't remember smelling this one individually. Like, I don't remember my feelings about smelling this one. I do remember that I did smell this one because the sales associate was like walking me through their whole house because I had never smelled anything from them before. Tarocco ended up taking the cake for me that day, and actually I finally got my hands on a secondhand bottle of Tarocco, you guys. Finally, like 3 weeks ago, I've been on the search for it for like the past 5 years. I literally finally got my hands on it. I found a guy in a Facebook group that was posting some stuff he was selling. I saw Tarocco in there. I immediately messaged him and I was like, oh my God, do you still have it? And he was like, yep. Sold me half a bottle, overnighted it. It was there the next day. It's perfect. I'm like so excited. But anyways, those of you guys that have been following me for a while, you know like how badly I was wanting a bottle of Tarocco. But this is Eau Duelle. And I'm not sure if this is the EDT or the EDP actually. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember what I ordered. But this is a very pretty spicy vanilla scent. It's so elegant. It's so refined. Like, the woman who wears this or the man is like, they're very, they've got their life together. Like, this is not for like a wild rock star type of vibe. Honestly, in my opinion, I feel like this is very much a very classy, elegant, refined, sophisticated fragrance. It's very subtle. It's not like a beast mode fragrance. It's just really, really pretty, and it's got this like kind of greenness to it that I love as well. I'm really excited for the fall to wear this. I've worn it a couple times and I really loved it. Longevity, not amazing, but not too bad either. Okay, next we have my very first Ormonde Jeanne experience. This is Frangipani. I am obsessed with the note of Frangipani, so I figured this might be right up my alley. I got this decant from Scentbird, and this is absolutely beautiful, like so pretty. A beautiful tropical solar floral. This is just gorgeous. To me, this is just like late spring, early summer in a bottle. Yeah, this is so pretty. I feel like you can smell the whole flower. Like it's got a little bit of greenness in there. I'm not sure if there are other notes in here. Like maybe a little jasmine. I don't know. There's something else in here that's adding to it. But this is just such a pretty fragrance. I have not worn this on skin yet. So I'm not sure how it performs. I'm very excited now that the weather is ridiculously hot here in Austin. I'm excited to play with this. I feel like this will be a nice like cooling fragrance for the hot weather here. So very excited to play with that. Next we have one that I accidentally ordered in a sample haul, and I thought I was ordering MICALLEF's Note Vanille, which I had already sampled, but I didn't have a lot left, and so I was like gonna order another sample, and I accidentally ordered Vanilla Oud, which I didn't even know they had. So that was kind of an exciting discovery when I received these samples. This is something I've tested this yet, obviously just because of weather reasons. But this smells so good, you guys. Like the oud in this, from what I can tell from the strip, is like super clean, like high quality oud that's blended so perfectly with the vanilla. So the vanilla still maintains that kind of rum, like boozy facet, while also pulling in like slightly a little bit of the animalicness from the oud. But yeah, this is really, really pretty. I'm excited to wear this on skin. I have decided, I know I've talked about this in the past, but I have decided that I am no longer going to order these samples that you can't spray because the experience is just so different. And in the past, I've like transferred these types of dabber samples into smaller spray vials, and I've noticed when I do that they evaporate really quickly. I'm not sure why, so I've decided to stop doing that, and I'm just going to start only buying sprayers, which is unfortunate because some of these companies that I like to order samples from, such as Lucky Scent, I think is the main one, like they don't really offer spray samples, so that's kind of a bummer. But there's plenty of other places to get spray samples of niche fragrances like this. So that's MICALLEF Vanilla Oud. Okay, this next one I have not heard anyone talk about on YouTube. It's a very popular house. I've never heard anyone talk about this. I'm not sure why, because I got a decant of it. I wore it in Mexico. We were down there in February for a friend's wedding, and I wore it like the entire time. Well, I wore other stuff too, but I wore this a lot, and I loved it. It's by NISHANE, and it's called SAFRAN COLOGNISE, I think is how you say it. This is such a pretty scent. Like, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. If you like saffron and citruses, you're probably gonna love this. I feel like it's more of a men's fragrance. Like when I first sprayed it when we were down there and Ian smelled it, he's like, that smells really masculine. I think it's unisex personally. Yeah, it's just really pretty. I'm gonna spray it. I know it's got some like, sprayed it all over my hand. It's very heavy citrus, but I know there's also some passion fruit in here, which I'm having like a passion fruit love lately. Ever since Panama, we had these passion fruit mojitos, were they? Or no, margaritas? Passion fruit mojito. I can't remember what they were. Yeah, this is really pretty. This is not for everyone. This is probably a pretty polarizing fragrance. You've got to love saffron. You've got to love really like heavy fragrances. It's beast mode for sure. Yeah, to me, this just worked so perfectly. So we stayed in 2 different resorts when we were down in Playa. The first one we stayed at was for the wedding, and it was the Secrets Moshi, which is like a new resort, super upscale, really, really, really nice resort. And I would wear this at night when we went out to dinner and like walked around, and it just kind of fit the vibe like so perfectly. But I really like this. I don't know if I would get a full bottle. I'm gonna wear the rest of it and see how I feel. But yeah, really pretty. I love everything that NISHANE puts out for the most part. I haven't loved 100 Silent Ways. I haven't gotten on that train. I've tried. But everything else that the house puts out I love. So get your hands on this if you like saffron. Okay, next, you guys are gonna be like, you seriously haven't smelled this yet? Like, seriously? This is like an OG. This is like one of the most popular fragrances ever of all time. I have a dupe of it. I have the Oil Perfumery blend. I've spoken about it on this channel. I shared about it, the scent memory that made me want to vomit every time I put it on. So when the lovely gentleman that sold me the bottle of Chirocco, oh my gosh, by the way, this guy was so amazing. Not only did he overnight it, not only did he give it to me for a discount and overnight it, he also included an entire bag of samples and decants of like really high quality perfumes. The guy was so cool. And so he included this fragrance and I was like, oh God, I'm not gonna like this because I don't like the Oil Perfumery version. But you guys, Guerlain Spiritueuse Double Vanille is everything that everyone has said it is. Like, it is so freaking good, you guys. I do not even want to spray. I'm not even gonna spray this because I'm holding on to this juice. Oh my God, it smells so good. If you like Play-Doh-y, kind of spicy, boozy vanillas, it's just this, what do we say? What do we say? I don't even know. It's so good. It's definitely gonna have to be a full bottle purchase once this is gone, but I'm gonna savor this until it's gone. You guys, if you haven't smelled this yet, get a sample. Do not blind buy it. Don't blind buy anything. Honestly, in my opinion, like, unless it's $50 and under on FragranceNet, please don't blind buy anything. Please don't do it. I don't think it's a smart idea, personally. This is expensive, and I'm sure there's people that don't like the Play-Doh-y vanilla vibe. I'm sure there are people that are gonna say this is basic and linear. To me, this is just the complexity, to me, and the geniusness of how these notes intertwine. Oh my God, it's so good. Okay, moving on. The next one is something that I forgot to bring up from downstairs from the fragrance room. This was new to me, not a new fragrance whatsoever, but this is Sarah Jessica Parker's Stash. I've been hearing people raving about this forever. I saw it on Fragrance Buy for like, I think I spent $23 on like a big bottle of it. And I was like, I don't even care if I don't like it, 23 bucks, like whatever, I can just resell it. It's so popular, I can resell it if I don't like it, you know? So I just went ahead and bought it. When it came, the cap was broken and the fragrance had leaked. Like half of it had leaked all over the box. I immediately reached out to Fragrance Buy. They were very accommodating. They gave me a $25 gift card basically to just cover the price of it, and their, you know, extreme apologies. I then thought that I fixed it and then packed it in my suitcase and brought it down to Mexico with us. And then it leaked even more all over my entire suitcase. So all of my clothes that I brought to Mexico will eternally smell like Stash, which is not a problem. But it was just kind of a lot. And then I heard another fragrance reviewer saying that she had a very similar experience, minus the suitcase, but just with the cap and the leaking and all of that. So that was my first experience with Fragrance Buy. I wasn't 100% excited by that, even though they did, you know, make it up and they did take care of it very promptly. But hearing that she also had that, and then I saw some people in the comments of her video saying they had that same experience, I don't know, I don't want to get fragrances mailed to me that are just end up leaking all over the place. But anyway, Stash is a beautiful fragrance. I know it's something that primarily people say you should wear in the summer and winter, but I brought it down to Mexico. I wore it for our second resort. The first resort was super high-end, super luxury. The second resort, we stayed closer to town in Playa del Carmen. We stayed at the Mahikal Beach Resort. It was awesome, totally my vibe. We had like our little beach hut. It was casual, but still nice. You know, it wasn't like a cheap place by any means. But I wore that there, and I feel like it went so perfectly. It kind of had this like woodsy, sort of like Tulum-y vibe to it that I really loved, and it was just a nice, easy wear. Ian and I both wore that, I think, every single day we were at Mahikal. So yeah, that's a delicious fragrance. The hype is on point for that one. It's really good. It's very unique. 10 out of 10 recommend. I'm excited to wear it in the colder months. and truly experience its full depth. I think it'll really shine in the fall and winter months. Okay, moving on. Also from the nice gentleman, I can't remember his name, that sent me the package of decants and samples with Tarocco. He also sent me a little sample of CELINE black tie. Now, I had never smelled anything from CELINE. I'd heard Sebastian rave about it multiple times, especially black tie. When I sprayed this, I was absolutely blown away. So was Ian. We both looked at each other and went, oh, like it's really good, you guys. Like it's really good. It is like the most beautiful iris vanilla. Oh, it's so good. It creates a mood. It's this very sophisticated, very soothing, like wise. This is someone like, I feel like Deepak Chopra would wear this scent. Like it has a very soothing quality to it. Very grounding. This is just absolutely beautiful. My beef with this fragrance is that there's like zero projection and it does not last on me like whatsoever. I don't know if other people have that experience or if anyone has recommendations on how to deal with that, because it's literally such a beautiful fragrance. Like I mean, I think the full bottles is like, I think they're like $500. I would spring for a full bottle if this had a better projection and longevity, but this is CELINE black tie. Okay, I did like massive hamstring day yesterday at the gym, and then I went for a run this morning and I literally like can't feel my legs. So if you see me shifting around, it's because I'm really uncomfortable. I'm really sore. The next one is one that I've not yet worn on skin. I got this in a sample box. It's Island Lush by Goldfield and Banks, and I have yet to really play with this, but it is something that I have been very excited to play with. I literally have, since my last video, you guys, you know I was always talking about how I was drowning in perfumes. Now I'm really drowning, but I've come to accept it. I'm no longer trying to like not sample anything. This is a very leathery fragrance. I know you've probably heard other people say that. I ordered it thinking it was gonna be more fruity, which it does have this like slightly tropical kind of fruity vibe to it, but it's pretty prominent with this leather note, which is really interesting. And yeah, this is kind of along the same veins as SAFRAN COLOGNISE. Doesn't smell the same, but same kind of style. And because I love that so much, I'm really excited to try this as well. Again, I have a dabber. I don't have a full like spray, so I'll be limited, but yeah, this is really pretty. It has a very like leathery saffron kind of fruity tropical element to it, and I really like it so far. So super excited to wear test this. Okay, next we have one that everyone was screaming about, and I finally caved. I love the house. I love everything they put out, like literally everything. And so I finally caved and got a decant, and quickly realized that Ian was gonna try to steal it from me. So I've been hiding it from him. And I actually bought a dupe for it to like give to him so he can use that one. Ian's like, obviously we share a love for fragrance, but when I tell you, when we talk about overspraying, like he is the ultimate oversprayer. And for him, he's the kind of person that like, he will stick with one fragrance until it's gone, but because he's such an oversprayer and he sprays multiple times per day, he will just blow through bottles, which is fine when you're spraying like dupes and stuff, but when you're spraying like a $400 bottle of perfume, like that's only gonna last him a month. Like that's just too much. We're not there yet. We're building wealth, but we're not there yet. You know what I mean? Like, so anyways, this is INITIO's Musk Therapy. This is a beautiful musk. I'm not usually into this type of clean, musky aesthetic. It's not usually my vibe. But this year, I've kind of been getting into it based off of this and also another fragrance that I'm going to be sharing with you here in a second as well. This is just really pretty. It's like got this like soft, kind of airy, almost aquatic feel to it. It's vibrant, it's fresh, it's clean, it's also kind of sexy. It's just got, it's like a multifaceted experience. And I feel like this is also something that you could just as easily wear to the gym or wear out on like a date. Like it's something, it's very versatile. It's something you could wear to so many different occasions. It's so pretty, you guys. It's so clean. Definitely if you're into musk, if you're into like fresh, clean fragrances, if you're into that kind of aesthetic, get your nose on this like immediately. Okay, staying on the musk theme, this was the other one that kind of changed my mind about musks this year, and I might even say that I like this better than Initio's Musk Therapy, but that's kind of a bold statement. It's definitely tied. This is a Narciso Rodriguez Pure Musk. Now this one's, oh, I have a little bit of a hard time with these sprayers, the new Scentbird sprayers. This one is definitely more feminine, like super floral, clean. My nose is kind of ruined from the Musk Therapy. This just has its own like soft, kind of nurturing, feminine feel. This feels very like comforting, very motherly, very soft and pretty and delicate, and it's just like a gorgeous, light, easy wearable, feminine fragrance. This is so good. Okay, another one by Matiere Premier is Parisian Musk. Now, this one I have not yet worn on skin. I'm kind of savoring this one because when I sprayed it on paper, I was like, oh dear Lord, that might be the best thing I've ever smelled. Not ever, but you know what I mean? Yeah, this is a whole vibe. You guys, this smells like you're on the streets of Paris. It's springtime. You've just picked up like a bag of macaroons, and you might be like taking a bite of one of them, and then like as you're walking down the street, you can smell these like beautiful flowers, like this beautiful floral smell just wafting from someone's apartment. Like this smells so good. It's floral, it's green. It's interesting because there's no floral or green notes in here. It's a very like musky, cedary scent, but it kind of creates this like, for me, it creates this kind of floral green experience of like walking down the streets of Paris. This is something I cannot wait to get on skin and wear it. I know it's gonna just like take off on skin. Yeah, really, really pretty. Definitely recommend getting your hands on Parisian Musk. Okay, we're getting close to the end. I know this is the longest video ever. So this next one is something I've been holding off trying for the longest time. It is Tom Ford's Bitter Peach. I'm not much of a peach fan in fragrance. I love, here in Texas, we have the best peaches in August, usually late July, August. I love peaches, like eating peaches. I will get a basket of peaches from the farmer's market and I'll put them into a blender with coconut water and cinnamon. Here's a little trick for you guys, and like a spoonful of plain Greek yogurt, and you guys, like, you will be thanking me for that recipe. It tastes so good. But anyways, I've never been super into peach fragrances, but I got this as a sample with a Sephora order, gave it a sniff, and I was like, actually, I don't mind that. So this to me smells very like photorealistic fuzzy peach up top. As it begins to dry down, like literally I'm having like a peachy angel experience. And I don't know what the notes are in this. I don't know if there's any similarities to angel, but I feel like if you like the note of peach and if you loved angel, or if you still love angel, I feel like you're gonna really like this. There's something that mimics the dry down of angel in this. And yeah, it's just really nice. It's a lot more elegant and sophisticated than I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be more of this like kind of fruity floral, like younger kind of vibe, but it smells really grown up. It's a little skanky. Like there's something a little animalic in here, which I don't mind. But yeah, and this wore beautifully on skin. It smells a lot different on paper than it does on my skin. I did wear test it a couple times on skin, and I really like the way it smells on me. So yeah, excited to wear this. I'll probably wait until like September, October. I feel like this might be a little too heavy in the 108 degree weather. So I am gonna wait a little bit on this one, but yeah, really excited about this. Okay, last but not least, I recently picked up the OAKCHA Tonic Collection. So OAKCHA is quickly becoming my favorite dupe house. Dossier will always be a love, but you guys, the quality of the OAKCHA perfumes are like pretty freaking amazing. And the longevity is incredible too. The customer service is impeccable. Like everything about them, I'm 10 out of 10. I had never smelled anything of their like signature, you know, original collections before. So when I heard about the tonic set coming out, the 4 tonic perfumes, I hopped on them and ordered this discovery kit because I wanted to give it to Ian. I thought that he would be super into these. They're very like green fragrances. They're all centered around the hemp note. And yeah, I really bought this for him. And it, come to find out, he didn't really jive with really any of these fragrances. And I fell madly in love with 2 of them. There's 5 in the collection, I think. Are there 5? Yeah, there's 5. I fell in love madly with 2 of them. I'm going to be doing a full review of this in a future video, but I wanted to share with you guys the 2 that I absolutely fell in love with. So the first one is called Rainbow Night. And this smells, I'm just going to put it on. This smells like so, fruity and delicious and punchy. Like literally smells like a pineapple punch bowl. At the very top, definitely get a green scent, definitely get like kind of almost like a grassy thing going on. But this is just so, oh my God, it smells like literal punch. Like, you know, when you go out to eat at like an Asian restaurant and they have those dragon punch bowls that like 8 people can share, it kind of smells like that if there was like a ton of pineapple. It smells like a Mai Tai without rum in it and with some like herbal facets. Like it smells so good, and the more it dries down, it kind of reminds me of Saint Julep by Imaginary Authors. It has a very similar kind of citrusy dry down, and then also kind of smells very similar to like Ellis Brooklyn West, where it has that like very solar, punchy, citrusy kind of smell. I am absolutely obsessed with this. It smells like something else, not a fragrance, but like something like a common familiar smell that I feel like everybody, it almost smells like Orange Sanguine from Atelier, almost. It's a little too bright and punchy for that, but there's like an element of that there. This is gorgeous. Definitely getting a full bottle. The other one that I fell in love with is called Forbidden Grass. Hold on, where is it? I think it's called Forbidden Grass. Yeah, Forbidden Grass. This one took me completely by surprise. When we first sampled these, I didn't put anything on my skin. We sampled them all on Ian on various parts of his arms, and I didn't like any of these on him. Like none of them smelled good. It's funny, he wears sweet fragrances really well. Anything with like a green note or like a fresh kind of quality, not so well. So Rainbow Nights he wore well because it's very sweet. It's got that kind of sweet element to it. I wasn't like 100% stoked on it on him. When he put on Forbidden Grass, I was like, no, ew, no. I did not like the way it smelled on him. So it was funny. I kind of like put this kit away and I was like, eh. And then when I pulled it out and started testing them on my own skin, this just blew me away, you guys. Like look how much I've worn already, and like haven't really had this for that long. I can't wait to tell you guys about this. I am usually not a cardamom fan in fragrances, but this, oh my God, you guys, this, I'm like eyes rolling back in my head. Like, this is how good this fragrance is. This is absolutely stunning. This is cardamom done perfectly. I don't even know what to say about this. It's so pretty. It's so different. It's so unique and so complex. The way that it is done is like, it's like magic. I don't even know what to say. I'm gonna put the notes up, I guess. Okay, yeah, so you can see the notes, I'm putting them up there or up there, wherever. Yeah, I mean, the notes say it all. I'm realizing that I'm like absolutely obsessed with grapefruit fragrances. Both Rainbow Nights and this have grapefruit. There's some nutmeg, there's some patchouli. This is just absolute heaven. I don't know, I could sit here for 10 minutes and just keep talking about how much I love it. Back in 2003, I wore a body mist that I believe was from the Body Shop. Since 2007 probably, I've been on a mission to try to figure out what the hell it was. All I remember, it was in like a little brown bottle. I'm pretty sure it was a body mist, not a perfume, although I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it was from the Body Shop, although I could be wrong. And I'm pretty sure it was called patchouli something, although I could be wrong. All I know is that that scent smelled absolutely incredible to me. It was like this citrusy patchouli smell. I loved it, and wore it all of 2003. I think I went through a couple bottles of it and then forgot about it, and then now can't find it anywhere, can't even remember. I even like reached out to the Body Shop and I was like, do you remember, or do you have like a catalog of like the scents that you had in 2003? They couldn't help me. I don't know. It's like this elusive fragrance. I've never been able to find anything that smells similar until this. The dry down of this does not smell identical, but it's the closest thing I've smelled to that. So if you like citrusy, spicy patchouli scents, this is gonna be right up your alley, you guys. Like, I can't tell you how good this fragrance is. I'm blown away. And these OAKCHA original bottles are only $30 a bottle. Like, I'm just blown away. So anyways, I just wanted to share these with you today. This has been a really long video. It's my first video back, so I know it hasn't been like the smoothest ride of a filming experience for me anyways. But hopefully you really enjoyed all of these fragrances. Coming up next, I've got a full review of the tonic collection. I also have a full review, finally, I was going to do this in November and then I got distracted, a full review of the new Amouage scents, Lineage, Search, Guidance, and Purpose. I know Guidance has been getting a ton of heat. I personally like some of the other ones better, so I'm going to be going through the entire Discovery kit and doing a review on those. And then I also have a grapefruit centered video coming out soon too, because I know I'm not the only one who absolutely loves grapefruit fragrances. So stay tuned, you guys. I would love to hear in the comments, have you tried any of these fragrances that I spoke about? Are you equally in love? Do you have other suggestions of 2023 favorites that you're just absolutely freaking out over, that you absolutely love? Please let us know in the comments. Please say hi. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I am so excited to be back with y'all, and I can't wait to see you again in the next video. Bye.